Here we go. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Goodbye, Sonia. Hello, 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 everybody. I see everyone joining. Let me know where all of you are from. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Here we go. Ah, hello. Oh, Rhea, look at my beautiful coaches. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, full house. We've got Utah, Montana, New York, Florida. I love this. Oh, California, California, California. Scotland. Oh, Sue Scott. Good to see you guys. How fun. Love it, love it, love it. Freeport, Maine. I'm going to Maine in July. California again, Colorado. Hello from Indiana, Ottawa. Hi, everybody. Good to see everybody. Hi, Shelley. Coach and training. I love it. Nairobi, Lucy. Hi, you guys. So great to have everybody. So much fun to see you. Welcome. You guys can add things in the chat as well. There's a Q&A. You'll see the Q&A. You can add things there. Oh, hi, Marcy. Hello, hello. So fun to see all of you. Missouri. For those of you guys, just, drop your city in the chat. I love it. And you can drop your questions right here in the Q&A. So fun to see all of you. Oh, I like the thumbs up. Love this. I love doing these things. It's like a big party, isn't it? London, England, San Diego. Love seeing where all of you guys are from. You know, we're planning to do an Adult Chair Live event, so I'm looking at where the cities are. I'm coming out west, you guys, in the fall, just saying, probably out to Phoenix. Hello, Netherlands. Woo! Yes, Shannon, you know, girl, I'm coming out west. We're doing it. Hello, Lisa G here in North Carolina. Laura, hello, Laura. New York City. Have fun, you guys. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to today. Our webinar is how to heal your relationship and get the love you want. The 4 ingredients, or I'm going to say qualities of every healthy relationship. Hello, Maggie. I'm going to wait just one more minute before we jump right in, but I'm so happy to have you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. We got a full house. Fun to see all of you. I love it. All around the world. Pierre, South Dakota. Hello, Delane. How fun. Santa Cruz. I love that. I've been there. So fun, you guys. Tell me if you guys are just joining me now. Let me know, where are you from? I love seeing where everyone's joining us from. For this part, I think of this as a big gathering of friends and family. It's so fun. Toronto, Maryland. Woo! Hello, Becca. Hello, Toronto. Vegas. Awesome. Love it. Woo! Good stuff, you guys. So today we're talking all about relationships. Hello, Kate in Rhode Island. Today is all about relationships. Is the chat hidden? Nope. Go into the Q&A. Albuquerque, Seattle. Awesome. I love it. Okay, so you guys can drop questions in the Q&A. You are able to, oh, I love that. Hey, Shar, you are able to drop things in the chat. You should be able to see everybody. Select everyone instead of hosts. Oh, let me see. Hold on a second. There we go. Can you guys see all the chats going on? Got it. Cool, cool, cool. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, you guys. I create that I'm an IT master because I used to say that I don't know IT, but I'm changing that tune. So yeah, we are recording this so you can watch it a later time. Yes, absolutely. Yes, we are recording this. So not to worry. And I'm going to say this, so thank you for whoever just typed that into the Q&A. I want to let everybody know that we are recording this. Welcome to the masterclass on healthy relationships. Today, we're talking about the 4 ingredients or the 4 qualities of every healthy relationship. And for those of you that do need to jump off early, let me tell you something. For those of you that know me, and I know a lot of you because I know your names, I know that you know me. I am not the traditional webinar kind of gal, because have you ever watched a webinar? Number one, there are slides that come up in your face and you don't see the person at all. I can't stand that, number one. Number two, I cannot stand watching a webinar and I have to wait till the end. And then there's this big giant upsell. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It irritates me. That's not how I operate here. So today you're going to get a whole bunch of valuable information about how to change your healthy relationship, or excuse me, your relationship and create a healthy relationship. I would advise that you get a pen and paper if you have it, or take some notes on your phone. I'm going to be giving you a whole bunch of stuff. But instead of waiting till the end, I'm going to tell you right now that the Relationship Reset course is open as of today. It's open until Monday. We actually start next Monday. So this course is at the adult. I'm giving you all this up front, so you don't have to wait till the end. Theadultchair.com / oh, thank you. It's right in the chat / relationship. So if you like what you hear today, and I'm giving you a lot, this is like the heavy appetizer. If you go to those heavy appetizer parties, this is a heavy appetizer. You're going to get a lot today. If you like this or love this and you want even more, then come on over and check out the Relationship Reset course. It's a course designed where you go at your own pace. I love it because, you guys, nobody gave us relationship training. Do you know what I mean? I realize I never had it. Like if our parents did not have a very, very healthy relationship, meaning they were vulnerable, they shared their emotions, they knew how to fight, and then they knew how to repair, all these beautiful things. How in the world are we supposed to know? So this is part of my story, is that I didn't know what the heck I was doing with my own husband. And I started learning it for myself. I started teaching it to my clients. And that's what this Relationship Reset course is all about. So it's different than the one I taught last year. This one is all about going at your own pace. So it's 4 different modules with 4 to 7 videos. You can watch them for the next year if you want, or you can do it all in 4 weeks. We've also got scripts. You know, people have asked me over the years, I don't know what to say and how to say it. Let me tell you what, I have more scripts than you're going to know what to do with. You're going to learn how to speak to your partner, how to set boundaries, how to ask for what you want, how to identify what your needs are, and so much more. We've got expert interviews in there. I've got podcasts in there. I've got meditations in there. And here's what the only live part is for 6 weeks with yours truly. Starting next week, I'm going to do a live weekly Q&A and group coaching for all of you. So bring me all of your questions. So that's over the next 6 weeks, starting next week. Okay. And for the next couple of days, when you register, you get $100 off using the code RESET. And that's all capitals, RESET. You get $100 off. Okay. So that's what I'm giving you all up front. So this is going to be recorded. You're going to get this in your inbox, etc. Thank you. That's in the chat. All right, here we go. So that's all the stuff that most people save for the end. That's not how I roll. Get your pen and paper. Here we go. All right. So for those of you that don't know me, wait, hold on. One question already. Do you believe that these activities and skills to heal relationship can reconcile a relationship after divorce? Here's the thing. The people that took it last year would say yes, but everyone is unique. Everyone is unique. And I don't care if you're single or if you are in a relationship, what you're learning today and that Relationship Reset course is all about you. So you don't need to be a couple taking the course. You can take it all on your own. You can be a single and taking the course, or you can be in a partnership and one of you takes it, and like a domino effect, it will still change the course, or it will still change you on the inside. Okay, here we go. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle Chalfant. And I am, gosh, it's been, I can't even believe, I don't want to say it out loud, 25 years. I've been a therapist, a coach. I am an author. I have another book coming out next year. I have the Adult Chair podcast. I have a coaching certification program. I do live events. I do online courses, and I teach. Teaching is one of my favorite things to do, which is why I'm so thrilled to be here with all of you today. My mission and my passion in life are to give people simple tools and strategies in order to change and transform their lives. Okay, I'm all about that. And that's what we're doing today. That's what the course is about as well. So a little bit about my but that's who I am, and a little bit about my own backstory with my own husband and how we got to where we are today is that, so I dated my husband, his name is Graham. We've been together 27 years. We have two sons in their 20s, but we dated for a few weeks. We ended up moving in together right away because he was moving out of state, and we got married within a year. So it was lickety split fast. And in the beginning, everything is wonderful. Well, as you can imagine, not knowing each other very well at all and getting married so quickly, within the year of even during my engagement, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? I don't know that this is the right thing. Big mistake, red flag. But I didn't want to say anything because my parents had already put down the deposits on the reception hall. So maybe some of you can relate. I don't know, but that was my story. And so then I had the most brilliant idea ever, which is let me figure out how to save this marriage, because we've only been married a year, or been together a year and married just for a few months. Let's have a baby. That was my brilliant idea. Had a baby. And guess what? The issues that we were having as a couple got distracted because there's a baby. So all of our focus went on the baby. And what happened was, over the next 18 years, we had two boys. The distraction of the boys kept us away from what was going on in the relationship. So Graham and I didn't have knockdown, drag out fights by any means, but we were never deeply connected. And I wanted that. And I said, when both boys left for college and the house was really quiet and empty, I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And he was in the same place, but I said, wow, we've had this family, everything's so great. Maybe we should work at this. So that's, again, what we're going over today. And we ended up working on our marriage. Me first, I went and did a lot of personal work, and we went to marriage counseling, like many of you, I'm sure, have gone to. As a therapist, I feel like I have the ability that I'm allowed to say this. And a lot of my friends that are therapists would say this, but unfortunately, I think there are not a lot of great therapists out there. There are some amazing, but there are also some, and I think you guys will agree, just not great. We went to, I think, 5 different marriage counselors over the course of 20 years. And there was not really, as I think back, one of them that totally transformed our marriage. What transformed our marriage, and again, no shame or shade. I'm not judging anybody here when I say that, but in marriage counseling, there was a lot of, let's have more sex. Let's do more date nights. Let's do this. Graham, you need to not get angry at Michelle when she says this to you. Is more, almost like moving chess pieces around instead of doing the deeper work. What I found is that I was already doing my work around childhood stuff. I got even deeper. When my kids left home, I went deeper into myself. That is what transformed our relationship. Me doing even more deeper work, it set off a domino effect in our relationship, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about. So that is how I changed my whole relationship, though, is that I really did a lot of internal personal work. So I'm going to start out today with talking with you guys about the 3 common, what I'm going to say, myths or misconceptions about relationships. This is where people stumble and fall into, it's sort of like a fantasy that we actually fall into. And I'm one of those people. So let's start out with these 3, because in order to understand how to correct and heal your current relationship, you've got to understand where you might be thinking incorrectly or have some myths going on. So number 1, here's a common misconception. Again, I pulled these from clients I've had for 20 some years. Okay. Here's a common misconception. My relationship should complete me. Okay. Okay. Untrue. Not true. No one's relationship should complete them. What we want instead is that we want our relationship to complement us. So I remember hearing things in my practice, like people would say, oh, I just can't live without so and so. I can't be without them. I feel so much better with so and so, whoever that their partner was. When your partner feels like that's your oxygen, it's a red flag. It's a sign that it's actually an unhealthy relationship. What we want are to come together with another human with higher self-esteem, or more importantly, self-worth, and we come together and complement each other. It's like we can make each other better, sort of like when you put a belt on or a cool pair of shoes or a scarf to make your outfit look better. That's what our partner can do for us. We want to come together with someone that has their own hobbies, and we have our own hobbies, and we have some shared hobbies. What I used to see in my practice was there was sometimes a couple would leech onto another. There would be a lot of control going on, or there would be, I can't do that, or I need so-and-so's permission for me to take a girls trip, or I want to go on a guy's trip and I don't think my wife will let me go. Unhealthy, unhealthy. Or I've never been away from my partner ever. I've never slept alone. They need to come with me wherever I go. What we really want to do is just realize I want to have my partner as a complement. Again, just think of a pair of shoes, like the coolest pair of shoes. That's how we want our partner to be with us. So we don't, when you think about it like this as well. Our partner should not be our life force. I remember having a friend, and she said she was married 20 years or so, and she said, I've never slept apart from my husband. I don't know how to do that. That would be really uncomfortable for me. I'd asked her to go away with me. I said, hey, why don't we go to Asheville for the weekend? And she's like, I can't do that without my husband. I've never done that. And I said, okay, what would happen if you did? She goes, I don't know. It would just be really uncomfortable and weird. So, and as you're listening to these things, please don't judge yourself. There's no space for judging here or blaming yourself. This is just about gaining information and saying, wow, I didn't know, let me choose a different way. So complimenting another as a pair of shoes is actually healthy. This is when our partner supports us in our values, in our morals. Again, we may have shared goals. We may have shared hobbies. Very, very healthy. We just don't want to think of either partner as oxygen for us. Okay, that's myth number one. Myth number two, if I'm in a relationship with my soulmate, it will not take any work. Okay, big, giant false. And I used to look for my soulmate or twin flame or past life partner, all of those things. Okay, no matter what, and I cannot, if I had a penny or $100 for every time I heard this statement, but they're my soulmate, why isn't this working? Okay, I don't care if they're your soulmate. And remember, if you understand why we're here as a soul, our soul is here to learn and grow and become more of fill in the blank. So we're here to learn and grow. So if you're in a relationship with your quote unquote soulmate, you're going to want to still learn how to have healthy communication. I just was asked this question even a month ago. Wait a minute, I thought I was in a relationship with my soulmate. Why are we arguing now? You're arguing because you're human. You're human, and it's okay to argue. What you want to do, though, is make sure that you're talking about it and you're learning how to communicate. So just because you have a soulmate connection does not mean that you will not have issues. It does not mean that you will not argue. Okay. I remember I had a client or clients that had come in, they were a couple, Isabel and Charlie. They had come in, they had gotten married really fast, kind of like Graham and I did. And they were soulmates. They said, oh, we're soulmates. We don't understand why we're arguing. This does not make any sense. We've been married a year and a half. What's going on, Michelle? Why are we arguing? I said, you're arguing because you're human and you have stuff from your past that's now coming into your present. It's time to talk about it. And they said, well, we don't know how to do that. Again, that's why I'm doing this with you guys today. That's why I created that course, because we don't have that guidebook for how to do relationships in a healthy way. So just know, if you're arguing actually is healthy. What we want to, though, learn how to do is learn how to repair when we're arguing, which we're going to get to today later. All right, or in a little bit. Okay, here's the other thing I used to hear all the time. Sexual attraction and chemistry are the most important quality of a healthy relationship. My friends, no. If you have a healthy sex life or a wild sex life or a phenomenal sex life, it means you have great chemistry and you're having a wild, crazy sex life. That's awesome. It doesn't mean that you have a healthy relationship. It means you may have healthy sex or healthy sex life, but that's it. So a healthy relationship has a lot of other components to it than just great frequent sex. Okay. In fact, that Isabel and Charlie that had come into me, that was one of the things that they said to me. They said, we don't understand. We're soulmates. We have like animalistic attraction toward each other. We have this wild, crazy sex all the time. Why is it? Why is it, Michelle, that we are fighting? What is going on with our relationship? I said, you need relationship skills. That's all you need. You guys don't know how to communicate what's going on in your life. That's all you need. Keep the great sex. That's awesome, but you've got to add to that. And you know, when I used to say this to people, I don't like the word work. You know, when we say relationships take work, I don't love that word work because it implies kind of like going to a job 9 to 5 that we don't like to do. I want to explain to you what work is. Work are things like this: learning how to feel my emotions, learning how to tap into what my emotional needs are, learning how to express those needs, learning how to set boundaries. That's the work that I'm talking about in relationships. It's when someone in your life, or it's when your partner is in a bad place, are you able to talk to them about it? And how does that conversation go down? Are you able to repair? Are you able to fight right, as I call it? There's a way to fight right. Arguing is normal. There's not another human being on the planet, even the person you have the most things in common with, right? You are not going to be able to agree with them 100% of the time for the rest of your life. You're going to come up with moments in your life where you're going to disagree and maybe even argue. That's okay. Arguing is not a horrible thing. That's normal. The repairing part is where I see that humans fall short. We don't know how to repair it if we argue. So sexual attraction, all those things, that's great. You just have great chemistry. That's excellent, but you got to learn how to have a healthy relationship. All right, so let's go on then to the 4 qualities of a healthy relationship, or the 4 components of a healthy relationship. Number 1, one of the main ingredients in a healthy relationship is that we have healthy communication. You've got to have healthy communication, not just communication, it's healthy communication. Because here's the problem: people that are yelling and screaming, people that are nagging, people that are bickering, that's not healthy. You want to learn how to have healthy communication. All right. So this is what that looks like. And I want to just share with you, Graham and I hardly ever fought growing in our marriage. 20 some, I don't remember. He gets mad. Not mad, he gets frustrated. Well, how do you not know? 20 some years of marriage. But for the first 20 years, we didn't really argue. We were busy, like most people are, right? We were married, we had 2 boys, we had travel soccer with both boys on the weekends. I was working, he was working, we had a supper club thing. I was over here doing bunco. We were social, we had vacation, we were busy. There was no time to really have any disagreements about what we were unhappy with in our relationship. So what we want to do when we have communication, though, is really talk about the things that are hard to talk about, that we want to sweep under the carpet. The thing that Graham and I were not doing, that I found that most couples did not do well, was vulnerable communication or vulnerable conversations. Okay. What is a vulnerable conversation? A vulnerable conversation is when you ask your person the hard questions. And you know what? For some people, it might not be hard, but for others, it is. I remember a client I had, her name was Denise. And she came in and she said, I think that I'm going to need to get a divorce. And I said, what's going on? And she says, my husband has not talked to me hardly at all in 3 weeks. I think he might be having an affair. I think he's done. He's hardly talking to me. And she says, I've even been having sex with him like multiple times a week every morning. And I said, okay. I said, did you ask him what was going on? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, what did he say back? She said, I said, oh, let me back up. I said, what exactly did you say to him? how did you ask him that question? She said, well, I asked him, hey, are you okay? And he said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, okay, that's not a vulnerable conversation. I said, what you want to ask is truly what's going on with them and point out what you're noticing. So she said, well, that would be awkward. And I said, that's healthy. That's what healthy people do. Healthy people have healthy, vulnerable conversations. I said, that means what you need to do is you need to sit and ask him, hey, babe, I'm noticing you're quiet. You're not engaging with me very much. Is there anything that I can do for you? Is there anything I can help you with? I'm here for you. And I gave her all these examples, right? And she said, that would be awkward. I don't even know how to say that. So we did a lot of role playing, and she ended up going and speaking with him. And she was shocked. She came back the next week and she said, you're not going to believe it. She said, he went and saw his father about a month ago, and his father was diagnosed with Parkinson's and was doing really, really bad. And she said, he's started mourning his father, the father that he once knew. And he was in that grief. And she said, I had no idea. And I said, yeah. I said, you were in making up a story that he was having an affair, that he was cheating on you, that he was ready to leave you. And it honestly had nothing to do with you. And she said, yeah, I can't even believe it. I said, this is why healthy relationships require healthy, vulnerable conversations. That's what we need to learn how to do better, is dropping in and finding out what we need and then asking our person. And in the relationship reset course, I got to tell you, I have so many scripts on this. So when people say to me, I don't know how to ask those questions, I have countless scripts. Like you will run out of ideas on what to say, because I've got them all for you in there. So here's to summarize: vulnerable conversations create a deeper connection. We speak up when we're vulnerable. We speak up for our needs, wants, longings. This is important. Worries and concerns. That's vulnerable conversation. That's a vulnerable conversation. I'm going to read those again. Our needs, our wants, our longings, our worries, and our concerns. Okay. That is when we are becoming vulnerable with our partner and we're sharing what's going on with us, and we're asking them to share that with us. Okay. So unfortunately, again, most of us lack, I certainly did. I did not know how to do that well at all. I had to learn it. But we lack communication skills in general when we are in more personal relationships like this, okay? When we're in partnerships, when we are wanting to go deeper with someone, these are the things that we have to do. The second thing that we want to do when it comes to communication is we want to have empathy. Now, empathy, without it, we are quick to judge, we're quick to defend, and that is not going to be healthy when it comes to creating and cultivating a new relationship. So we want to make sure that we're having healthy empathy. What empathy means is this: I can step into your shoes or reality and feel and know what's going on with you and not fix you. In fact, I may not agree with you at all, but I'm still with you. I will still sit with you and still listen to you. Even though I disagree with everything that is coming out of your mouth, I want you to know I've got your back. We call that holding space and just being with another. When we are able to witness another human being, when they are sharing with us their reality, and we're being with them in it, that's true empathy. That creates unbelievable closeness in a relationship. And people ask me this for years and years and years: can empathy be taught? I believe anything can be taught if you have the will. You've got to have the desire and the will to do it. So if you want to learn how to do that, yes, yes. Something that I do with my friends and family is we do these check-ins where I'm sitting with another human in my friend or family group, and I just listen, and they'll go on and on and on. I don't say a word, but I'm holding space for them. And guess what happens? They go, wow, that feels amazing. Thank you. I may not agree. I may have ideas for them. I may want to chime in. I'm going to tell you to do it my way, blah, 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 blah. I don't do it. This can be taught. And this is something I teach you how to do in that relationship reset course. I teach you can take this as a couple or just one person taking it. When one person starts to change, it changes the whole relationship. So you've got to do this. Whoever's on the call today, start doing this for you, or yourself, and for others. Okay. Start doing this for other people. It creates a domino effect. So again, empathy is when I'm stepping into your shoes and feeling and experiencing your reality. It brings that other person so much closer to you when you don't fix them. And let me tell you something, it's hard work in the beginning. I was the biggest fixer on the planet. Like I was always like, I was a codependent. So I was always fixing. Oh, how about this idea? Maybe you should do this and let me help you. Da, 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 da. I don't do that anymore. Not that I'm perfect by any means, but I don't do that nearly as much. So the other thing that happens when we have empathy, okay, when we have empathy in relationship and that starts to build, we start to showing up, holding space with empathy for our partner, trust is birthed out of divine empathy. Empathy is such a gift to a couple or to any two humans, honestly, on the planet. But trust then is born out of empathy. And again, I can't say it enough, it's a domino effect. Once you have trust, it's a game changer. Again, these are all things that continue to birth out of your relationship when you start changing. It's like you start to become more vulnerable, and then the empathy, and then the trust happens. So those three things go together under healthy communication in a relationship. What we want to do with trust is to give our partner the experience and the feeling that I've got you. I've got you no matter what. I've got your back. And when I can empathize with you and sit in empathy with you, that is the feeling that we start to get like, wow, they've got me. I know that they've got me no matter what. All right. Kind of like the song, I've got you, babe. I've got you, babe. That's how we want to feel. When you have trust with someone, you can look at them across the room if you're at a party and you can be like, and they go, oh, I know, time to go. It's that you start having this intuitive connection with your person. So it builds and builds and builds. And I just want to say this, no matter where you are in your relationship, you start doing these things right now. Graham and I were married probably 20 years before we started to practice all of these things. Okay. And we turned it around. We are in a totally different place today than we were 7 years ago. Okay. So number one, again, a healthy relationship requires healthy communication. We got all those things that are involved in communication. Number two, personal work. Let me tell you something. This is what changes the game, because I want you to think about it like this. When you come together with another human being, you're coming together with all of your wounding from childhood. And everyone, my friends, has wounding from childhood. There's not a human that can escape it. Some of us have more and some of us have less. What happens though, I am bringing all of my baggage. Think about, I've got 20 suitcases that I'm coming and I'm going to have a relationship with you. And I'm going to take 20 of my suitcases that are filled with, I don't matter, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I hate myself, I am bad, all of those things that we all believe to one level or another. I'm bringing all those suitcases with me and I'm dropping them in the middle of the family room. And then you're coming to join me in the relationship with your 20 and you're dropping all yours in the middle of the family room. So they're all over the house now. And what happens with humans that I find in relationship, they walk around the house and they try not to touch one of their suitcases, some of their baggage. And when they do, it's like a landmine. And when the landmine goes off, we are falling apart, we are triggered, we're angry, we're all of those things. So the question is, how do you remove your luggage out of the house, your quote unquote baggage out of the house? You do your personal work. That means when you're triggered, you look inside and say, what is it that's coming up for me? When you're triggered, my friends, remember, it's your stuff every single time. It's your stuff. So you've got to look and say, wow, when they did that, it made me feel what? And that's what you sit in, and that's what you explore in order to start changing yourself. Because in order to change your relationship, hear me now, in order to change your relationship, one of you has to start changing yourself. Okay. So that person that's here, all of you today are here with me. That's going to be you. And it's okay. This is what I love about this is that you don't necessarily need both people to start working on the relationship. We need one person to show up and start working on the relationship. And that is what will then, to bring us to the next thing, changes the dance. Okay. Because what happens is when we change the dance, guess what? The partner that you're dancing with shows up in a new way as well. So if I'm doing the waltz with you and I'm dancing like this with you, right? And I start dancing like this, I'm not participating in whatever you've got going on. Okay. I'm not going to engage with you when you are talking to me like that. I'm now not so triggered, so I can sit in my emotions in a different way. So when I'm like this, it's going to affect how you're showing up with me. So when we do our personal work again, it's crazy how we can change our relationships. And not only our personal relationships or our primary, you're going to find your relationships with your friends and your family and parents, everybody starts to change because you've done your work. You're clearing out, I call it cleaning the slate. You're clearing out all the old stuff that gets in the way of you aligning with more of your true self and showing up as this healthier person that has higher and healthier self-worth and self-esteem. So when you do that, you show up in your relationship in a brand new way. Okay. Yes, good. Oh, I love this. I just took a glance. 2 people just said, I'm so hopeful. This gives me hope. I'm telling you what, I used the divorce word 7 years ago. I was out the door. Hear me, out the door. I was gone. Okay. Things changed. And I didn't ask Graham to change. Did not. I changed. I said, what is going on within me that I'm tolerating this marriage the way it is? And it wasn't horrible. It wasn't it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted a deeper connection. I wanted that. And guess what? It wasn't about him. It was about me. And if you're in a relationship, when you do your personal work, it becomes about both of you. That relationship will change because of you, because of you doing your work. Okay. All right. Hold on a second. Where am I? I got sidetracked because I looked at those, I took those comments. Oh, good. You like the self-work. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Okay, I'm not going to get distracted yet. I'm going to look at the comments at the end. Okay, let me go back to this. All right, so here's the thing. When it comes to personal work, I want you guys write these questions down. Here we go. I want you to ask yourself and think about this. Something I love to do are journaling prompts and really going inward. We've got to excavate what's in there and in the way, right? We're going to remove the suitcases from your house. Think about it like this. You ready? This first question, ask yourself this. What relationship skills did I witness growing up from my parents? Write that down. What relationship skills did I learn from my parents while I was growing up? And let me explain that a little bit. Did you learn to shut down your emotions? Did you learn to be quiet instead of speaking up? Did you learn not to set boundaries and instead get small? Did you learn to explode? Did you learn to rage? What did you learn in your relationship or from the relationship from your parents or the people that raised you? What did you learn from them? Please don't blame them. This is not about blame. I didn't have the best people that modeled for me by any means, but I don't blame them because we can learn it now. But we want to get clear about, oh my gosh, wow, that is what I learned. Because my friends, from the age of 0 to 6, we are little sponges that are absorbing everything in our environment, whether we want to or not. We lack discernment. We can't say, oh, wait, my mother's an alcoholic, I shouldn't take that in. No, as little kids, we don't have that part of the brain that's alive yet. So we suck it all in and we go, yes, yes. Okay, that's how I do relationships. That's how I show up in relationship. That's how I show up as a mother, as a father. That is how I show up as a friend. We learn all this from when we're growing up. Okay, it just is. And we can change any of it. So again, what did I learn or witness from my parents while I was growing up about my relationship skills? What relationship skills did I witness growing up? Number two, this is the suitcase question. What beliefs or programs? I think about a program as a belief. Like a program would be all people leave me, or I'm not lovable, or people abandoned me, or I'm not worthy of love. Beliefs and programs are the same exact thing. So what beliefs or programs, good or bad, might you have formed while you're growing up? What beliefs or programs might you have formed from what you learned from your parents? What did you believe then? What do you believe now about relationships? Okay. There it is. I learned not to talk about it. Yes, sweep it under the carpet. Some people learned again to get really small. Some people learn to get really big and blow up and explode and yell and scream. Some people learn to leave. When things get tough, leave. You have a parent that suddenly vanishes on you, and you're like, wait, what happened to dad or mom? They just left. People leave me. So we take this in. You may not be conscious about it, but if you sit with it for a moment, you're going to start to get clear about what is going on within you. Okay. Another one, men are cheaters. I remember I had a client one time and she came in, she sat down, she said, I can't seem to have a relationship. All men cheat. And I said, well, what happened when you were growing up? She goes, well, my mom got cheated on by two of her husbands. I said, oh, what do you believe about cheating? And she said, all men cheat. So guess what she's creating? All men cheat, right? So no matter what you have, what you're thinking about in your conscious mind, like, well, I don't want that. I don't want men that cheat. That's 10% of your mind. 90% of your mind is in the unconscious mind. And that's where all these programs and beliefs are buried. That's where they exist, is in the unconscious mind, right? So if you've got all men cheat or I'm not lovable, that's what is responsible for creating the relationship that you're in and attracting you to the quote unquote perfect partner. They're perfect because they're aligning with the beliefs that you have and the programs that are inside of you. That's why we can't blame them. And again, I don't want you to blame yourself either. I want you to just get very aware about, wait a minute, why would I have attracted this person into my life that keeps cheating, that's treating me poorly, that's an alcoholic, that all the things. What's going on within me? Now, we don't want to blame ourselves. We want to become aware of it and go, wow, I don't choose that. I don't want that anymore. This is what I want instead. Okay. All right, let's see. And we go deeper in this in the course, you guys. Again, and then the third question I have for you guys is, where do you see these beliefs show up in your life? Which is kind of like what I just said. So those are the three questions. Again, the third one is, where do you see these beliefs show up? I also like to look at patterns. What are the recurring patterns? All right. All right. Number three, this is the third quality. We show up in a new way and we change the dance. Well, when I start doing my work, this is a natural progression that happens, is I'm going to show up in a new way. Let me tell you, for me, I stopped nagging. I was a big freaking nagger. I drove my kids and my husband crazy. My husband would get so angry. That was one thing we did argue about. He didn't start getting upset with me until the boys were in high school. And I would ask him things over and over and over and over and over again. And he would lose it. He'd be like, I can't take it anymore. Da, 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 da. Here's what's interesting. When we started doing our personal work around that, and I realized why I was nagging because I was so codependent. I felt like I had to control everything in my environment. And I had no trust in him that he would get things done that I thought needed to get done immediately. Right? So I would I would just nag and be like, hey, have you done this? Have you done this? And then he dropped into, which was interesting, that I don't trust him. And then he dropped into that he's less than, that his wife doesn't even trust him. So we were able to talk about this. It was so cool to really like excavate what the heck is going on inside of us. So even today, we had the AT&T, the guy coming to check our cable for the internet. And I said, have you turned your phone on? And he said, yeah. And an hour later, I said, did you turn your phone on? And he said, did you say something? And we started laughing about it. Like, that's how far we've come. And I said, shoot, I think I was nagging. And he goes, it's okay. I still love you. 5, 7, 10 years ago, he would have been so pissed at me. We would have gotten in an argument about it. Da, 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 da. That's where we've come. And I said, oops, made a mistake. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to nag. And he goes, it's no problem. That's where we've come. If you could have seen us before, you would have been like, end this marriage. Like, we're done here. So changing the dance means when I start again dancing in a new way, you're going to show up as my partner in a totally different way. It starts slow. If I don't give in to the old way, again, if I'm dancing like this with you, and I've been doing this for 20 years, meaning you say this, I react like that. I say this, you react like this. And we go back and forth, right? If I stop doing this and I start doing this and I'm doing a new dance with you, I'm not reacting. I've gotten in touch with what's going on inside of me. I don't have triggers anymore, or a lot of triggers. I'm not nagging. Guess what? Everything starts to change. So when we change the dance, the relationship starts to change. Slowly but surely, slowly but surely. It is fascinating to watch how this happens. Okay, next thing. Fourth thing, here we go, fourth quality. Another thing that we want to make sure that we're doing with our partner is having intentional engagement with repair strategies. So what I mean by intentional engagement is, again, I don't care if you're single or in partnership, you can practice this with anybody, but can you be intentional when you're having a conversation with somebody? So for Graham and I realized, again, we spoke all the time. We had dinner at the table, the kids were there. We had talk, we'd be going over to soccer. I'm talking about my day at work. He's talking about his day, but we weren't communicating about the deeper things. I wanted a deeper connection. I wanted to feel deeper. I wanted to feel something in my body toward him from my heart space. So we set up, or I set up, I'm going to say, I started this new dance. I said, I would love to connect with you. This is what I walk you through in this whole course, how you do exactly what I'm saying. I lay it out. I said to Graham, I want to meet with you. I said, how would you feel about meeting with me on a regular basis so you and I can connect about things other than work? I said, and the kids. I said, I'd love to get to know you better. This is after 20 years of being married, my friends. Okay. I knew him, but I said, I want to know you deeper. I said, you got a lot going on under the surface. I want to know that you. I said, and I want to share that me with you. Does that interest you? I said, I'd like to take our relationship into a deeper place. I want to elevate our relationship. And he was like, yeah, I think I'm down for that. I was like, okay. He was a little scared. I was like, hey, it'll be light and we don't have to dive in deep the first time. He said, that's fine. So we started doing something, again, it was probably about 7 years ago. I called it coffee chat. So we started every Sunday morning or Saturday morning, we would grab our coffee and we would sit down together for 30 minutes. And you don't want to do this too long. Like you don't want to do this for 3 hours, the first meeting. And we would talk about some light topics like, how are you feeling? How do you feel about the relationship? What would you like to do differently? And it wasn't too deep. And again, I don't know where you are in your relationship, but when you start this with your partner, you want to give them not too much. So go with it. Have a light conversation about whatever, and then drop some of these questions in. And at first he's like, well, I don't know, I feel good. I'm like, well, what else is good? Tell me another word for good. And we started having these regular conversations totally changed us. Not only did that change us, I got to tell you something. This is one person of the two of us. I started doing my work. I set up coffee chats. I started getting more vulnerable. I started setting firmer boundaries. I've got tons of boundary scripts for you guys too in this course, by the way. Firmer boundaries, not mean, not confrontational. I knew what I needed and I shared with him. Guess what happened? He not only started going to therapy, he had 2 therapists and 1 coach that he started seeing all on his own. And I remember in the beginning, he'd say to me, well, I guess you want me to go to therapy. I said, no, I don't care. I don't care. You do you. I'm doing me. This is what I talked about in the beginning. Remember, he's not my oxygen. I'm my oxygen. I said, no, 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 no. If you want to do that, go for it. He's like, well, you're so calm all the time now and you're not triggered anymore. I said, no, I'm working on myself in a really heavy way, more than I ever have. And he's like, well, I guess you probably want me to go. I said, nope, do whatever you want. I said, I think it would be helpful, but you don't have to. So guess what? I let go. I detached from that outcome. Again, 2 therapists and 1 coach. He went hardcore, hardcore. And all he said was, thank you. Wow, that's great. Thank you so much. And he would show up on our weekly coffee chats and started to report what was going on with him on a deeper level. It was really, really beautiful. So you have to have intentional engagement. So set that up. This is more than going out to dinner and talking about the kids or politics and all that. This is about talking about your relationship. And the other thing you need to come up with are repair strategies. You've got to learn, what do you do when you have an argument, right? Graham and I do not go to bed angry with each other. We connect with each other within an hour of if we're upset with each other. And I'll say to him, I'm really pissed at you right now, but I want you to know I love you and I'm not going anywhere. I'm just really angry and I'm working through it. And he's like, okay, cool. My goal with him now is to relax his nervous system, because I know he's stressed, and he does the same with me. Because guys, guess what? We all go into fight or flight. If our partner's pissed at us, we're in fight or flight. Our nervous system is activated like this. So it's in the shortest amount of time you want to repair for the relationship, not even for them, for the relationship and for the other person. It's helpful. So you got to come up with, what do you need as a couple that would be helpful in your relationship? Never go to bed angry, all those kinds of things. I've got other ideas on this again in the course. The course is jammed. If you think this is packed, wait till you see the course. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let me see, what time is it? Okay, I want to go over these 3 things that are incredibly important, regardless of how busy you and your partner are. These are the top 3 things couples need to do to feel fulfilled and will continue to build a healthy relationship. These are one-off things you can start today. I've got them. So write these 3 down. This will start to change your relationship as well. Baby things, appreciation. Number 1, appreciation. You want to appreciate each other. And again, I've had couples, or people will come and go, well, my person does not appreciate me. They don't say anything nice. I don't care. You start, this is you changing the dance. You start the new dance. So for example, when Graham empties the dishwasher, I'll say, thank you so much for emptying that dishwasher. Thank you for taking the garbage out. Thank you for, little things. Thank you so much for stopping by the grocery store and getting me my almond milk. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And it's not a one-off thank you. I really look at him in the eyes and I say, thank you. I really, really appreciate you. And I said that to him the other day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all the work that you've done on yourself. It's so fun to live with you now, and I look forward to our future. I don't know what's coming, but thank you. I know that you do a lot of hard work on yourself, and it's scary and it's hard. And I just want to say thank you. You can't appreciate someone enough. It feels good. It opens the heart, you guys. And that's where we connect. If we want a deeper relationship, a deeper connected relationship with someone, it's from this space. It's from our heart, the heart center, the 4th chakra, our physical art, all of it. The heart is magic. It's where our soul, it's where we connect to the soul. So when you appreciate someone, you're coming from your heart and they receive it, hopefully, in their heart. Okay? So appreciation is huge. Number 2, this is so cool. 1-minute check-ins. I remember starting doing this with Graham. We would be, we both work from home, and I'd be downstairs, I'd be walking by him in the kitchen, and I would grab his hands and I would look in his eyes and I'd get really present and I'd say, hey, I'd like to check in with you. Give me 1 word with how you're feeling. And he'd say, peaceful, anxious, overwhelmed, angry, whatever it is. And then he'd go, how about you? And I'd go, I feel one of those words. Guess what? And then you walk away and you part ways. But there's a connection that we're having. We're holding hands. I'm looking in his eyes. We're in the heart. Again, 1 word check-in, and then you go on with your day. There's no fixing. I never say like, well, what do you mean you're in a bad mood? Why are you so anxious? What can I do? Because I leave it up to him. He knows, we've already set this up. If he needs me, he's going to ask me, hey, can you help me? Now, sometimes I'll say, do you need anything? And he'll say, no, I'm good. Okay, cool. He's going to walk away angry. I might need to ask him, because now I know how to do that in a healthy way. Is your anger about me? Do we need to have a conversation for a few minutes? No, it's about work. Okay, great. My goal with him is to keep his nervous system in check, and his goal with me is to do the same because it's good for our relationship. Okay. I want to calm him down, and he always wants to keep me calm because that's how you connect deeper with another human. Third thing, here we go, almost done. Hug for 30 seconds or more. Hugging, again, in the kitchen. Grandma and I do a lot in the kitchen. We're like passing each other like two shifts in the night because we work from home and we aren't together all day, even though we work in the same house. But I'll say, hey, time for a hug. He'll say, sure. 30 seconds or more. Holy moly. Your guard comes down. It releases oxytocin. I remember going as long as 2 minutes just hugging him for 2 minutes. You guys, for those of you that know yoga and energy, I had a partial Kundalini release, just fully clothed in the kitchen, hugging him. 2 minutes. I started crying. I've had Kundalini energy come up. I've had full on like seeing colors, like a psychedelic experience. Like you would not believe what can happen with a hug, but it's an intentional hug. These aren't these one-off hugs. And guess what? He has similar experiences. So you can ask your partner, hey, do you have time for an intentional hug? I'd love to do this with you right now. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Hug for as long as you can and wait for it, because I'm telling you, the emotions and the energy that comes up, woo, it's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, okay. That's all I've got for you guys today. Again, I hope you enjoy this. If you are interested in this and you want a lot more, come join me. The Relationship Reset course is open right now. It's at theadultchair.com/relationship. Again, I'm going to give you $100 off for the next 2 days. The promo code is reset, all in caps. So we've got 4 recorded modules. We've got expert interview series. We've got scripts galore. We've got all of these kinds of things. And again, I'm going to be live with you for the next 6 weeks, once a week. So you can ask me any questions. I'm doing group coaching. I'm doing live Q&A. We've got it all going on. It's a lot, but you guys can have that course until the day you die, forever. Okay, let's see the questions. I've got a few minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, love you guys. Thank you. I love hearing you. Oh, love it, love it, love it. I love this. Okay, let's see. What if your partner, I'm going to read some of these questions I've got here, you guys. Okay, what if your partner is not able to be empathetic or show empathy and does not see that there is a problem? Great, great question. I love this. So if they're not able to be empathetic, I'm going to ask you this, and maybe are they not able to be empathetic, or are they not choosing to be empathetic? Right? And if it's not a problem for them, okay, your question is, and they do not see that as a problem. What I'm hearing you say is it's a problem for you, and that's something that you'll share with them, not in an angry way, but hey, this is something I'd like to work on in our relationship. Empathy is important to me. So there's something we call in the course like a critical conversation, right? And I teach you guys how to build this new connection, like on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis with your partner, where you're building, and creating this connected relationship that you want. So they may not see it. Graham didn't see it as a problem that he was not in therapy. I did, but I just kept working on me. So you want to focus on you, and I would share with your partner, but it is a problem because I need someone to be empathetic with me. Can we practice this together? So you're asking a lot of questions, because when we blame someone, guess what happens? They put their sword and shield up. They're ready for battle. We want to drop the defenses and get them to. What if we're apart and he's not answering calls or texts? So I would ask them, you guys, be direct. Hey, I'm noticing you're not answering my calls or texts. Are you wanting to break up? Are you wanting a divorce? I don't know if you're married or not, but are you wanting to break up? Are you wanting a divorce? Are you wanting to separate? These are boundaries. And what I find is how little we as humans, again, this is 25 years of me having a private practice with clients, how little we know about boundaries and how to set healthy boundaries. We're not great at it, unfortunately. I was not at all. I didn't know how to ask, so I just stopped asking. Now I ask everything. So if someone's not answering your calls or texts, you got to be direct. Hey, what's going on? You're not answering. Are you wanting to break up? Because that's what I'm guessing. So if you don't answer me, I'm going to say that we're over. What strategy would you suggest for things like check-ins when you're divorced and not in the same physical space? How about doing it on FaceTime? Do it on FaceTime. If you're divorced and not in the same physical space. I don't like texting because let me tell you something. When you text somebody, it throws them into fight or flight immediately. Immediately. When you hear a text, you may not notice it, it strikes your nervous system. So I always prefer a FaceTime or a phone call, but most importantly, do in person if you possibly can. Okay, let's see. Any other questions that I can answer? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here's more. Oh, sorry. I just missed those. Okay. How does this change if there's been a relationship betrayal? Okay. A relationship betrayal, you're going to have to learn how to build trust again. And if both parties are choosing the relationship, there can be trust. But the person that, where there was betrayal, you're going to have to lay the groundwork. You're going to have to lay the boundaries. And if the boundaries are there and say, this is what I need, again, it's tapping into what do I need in order to trust you again. So if you're going to choose to stay in the relationship, if there's been a betrayal, you've got to make the decision, again, to leave what happened in the past and come in the moment with a new relationship that you want to build and build trust all over again. One thing you can't do with betrayal is bring in the incident that happened over and over and over and over again into the present moment. I call that dragging in your cement suitcase. It doesn't help you move forward. So if you're going to commit to moving forward and it's something you want, you got to come up with a plan for what you need with boundaries in order to move forward. Okay. Okay, Jennifer, examples of firmer boundaries around what? I don't know what you need help with boundaries. Can you do this work on yourself only and hope that your alcoholic partner sees a difference and wants to make a change in himself, but can't acknowledge his alcoholism? Yes. Okay, Pamela, can you do this work on yourself only and hope that your partner, your alcoholic partner, sees a difference? When you do the work with yourself, you will change how you see and experience your partner. Your boundaries will change. What you tolerate will change because you're different. So what I notice when we do this personal work, we go from living chin up from the mind and thinking we got to figure it out versus full bodied. That's when we're in tune with what do I need from you? What am I longing for? And what am I going to tolerate? I don't tolerate things well. When I have self-worth and I feel really good about myself and I see myself like a diamond, think about that. No one's going to hurt me. And I'm going to set boundaries quite naturally or more naturally when I really feel great about myself. When I feel great about myself, boundaries are quite natural. So he may not change immediately. You're going to change and he's going to notice a difference in you. And then you are going to probably, Pamela, set new boundaries. Example of firmer boundaries. Jennifer, expand on that. Okay, how do you identify and name emotion? He says, I'm not angry, and I'm witnessing his tone and body language, and that confirms it. Yeah, that sounds like Graham. How do you identify? Okay, so I would say this, Becca. I would say, well, I understand that you don't feel that you're angry. However, that's what I'm experiencing from you. So I don't know what you want to call it, but what I'm feeling is that I'm uncomfortable with what's happening within you. So we need to make a change because I'm uncomfortable. And I want this relationship to work. You're very important to me. But what's happening within you, whatever name you want to give it, is making me feel whatever word it is, Becca, uncomfortable or scared or whatever it might be. It makes me want to shut down. And I don't ever want to shut down, you know? So, okay. Anyone else? Let's see. Oh, Peggy, I wish I heard Michelle and her guidance 25 years ago. Me too. I didn't have this 25 years ago. Okay, the offer is theadultchair.com/relationship. Okay, you see it now? You see it? The adult chair, there it is right there. And the $100 off is, you got to use reset all in bold. Okay. Anyone else have any other last minute questions? Yes, use all caps. I need an apology, which he wasn't able to give. So now I realize this was my boundary. Yes, I was not able to stay with him. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay. Anyone else? Any last minute questions? I am here. Oh, here we go. My husband doesn't talk. We can sit in the same room for hours without speaking unless I start a conversation. How can I get him? I got this question all the time last year. I love this question. You want to ask him, because somehow he was a talker because you're married to him now. So at some point he walked down the aisle with you and he talked to you. So now I would say things like, hey, babe, I would love to develop a deeper relationship with you. I'd like to get to know you again. Whatever you want. I don't know what you want. So what is your desire, your longing? And that's what you're going to share with them. Could we have a conversation? Could we start communicating a little bit more, even if it's 15 minutes on Sunday mornings? I'd love to do that with you. It's important to me and to this relationship. Ladies, a lot of women in here. Listen, you need to get clear on what you want. What you want is okay. What you need, what are you longing for? We do not need to not speak up for ourselves anymore. And men too. There are a few men in here. Please, please, please speak up for yourselves. What do you need in your relationship? You know, you don't need to not set a boundary on that. Please speak up. Please speak up. Okay. Yes, please, Jennifer, share your relationship with college students. You guys, this is what I realized. Where was the information I talked about today for all of us? I had to craft this and cobble it together after years of working with clients and doing my own personal work. Here's the thing. We all need this. This is why I created this course. You can watch it forever. There's so much in the course. You can watch it, time it, watch it once a year. You watch it by yourself. Eventually, if you want to watch it with your partner, you can. You don't have to. That's what we all need. We all needed this in high school or middle school. How do you have healthy friendships? How do you have healthy relationships with a partner? How do you do it? How do you speak up? How do you set a boundary? How do you know what your needs are? It's a long process. This is a journey of building this. So even though the course where I'm with you is for 6 weeks, this is a journey you're going to be on. You're going to notice things are going to change for you as you go along. You're going to be different. Your relationship will show up in a new way. Promise. All right. Yes. Thanks, Shannon. I did cobble it together. Thanks, Russell. Love it. All right, you guys, there it is. Theadultchair.com/relationship. Reset is the coupon code, $100 off. I'd love to have you join me. We start on Monday. You'll have the first module dropped Monday. The live Q&A and live coaching with me is on Thursday. So every Thursday we'll be doing that. Boo. Oh, thanks for holding this. I realized as I listened, I had joined the one and just, oh, great. It still resonates with me. Yay. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, you guys. Yes, I'm coming to London, Linda. Don't you worry about it. I'm coming. I promise. Thanks, everybody. Great to see all of you. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.